Hello guys, so this is my league starter plan. You can follow it if you want. So this is Rider Modern Strike. You can check the playlist to see the performance of league start. Link on the description below. When we get our first ascendancy and multi strike in Act 4, we're basically dominating the campaign and early mapping. We are flying until we're going to kill uber bosses. We do need some major upgrade if we want to kill uber bosses, but other than that, this build is more than enough for league start. In this video, we will mainly talk about tips and strategies for league start and how to upgrade our gears at the late game. We have to start with Templar before Rangers. We're going to the Tidal Island and kill Hellrack, and we're going to unlock the entrance of the submerged passage. After that, we're back to the town and get some gems, Modern Strike, Ancestor Protector, Ancestor Core if reward provide, and Smite. Put everything on the set tab and we start our Rangers. We don't use Modern Strike at level 1, we use Smite or Frostblade. After level 4, we start using Modern Strike with Ancestor Core. Modern Strike without Ancestor Core is shit. We can use any highest weapon we found before we get Claw passive. We will start to get Claw passive around level 35, so we will have to start using Claw in the behind of Act 3. We will get some attack note for early campaign, Primal Spirit for strength and intelligence, and we will stick to adjacent animosity and less projectile speed from Mastery, Point Blank for 30% more projectile damage, and we will stick to the multi-shot, and 5% increased attack speed per close range enemies from Mastery, and we're going to get Frenzy Charges and Claw Note. We are going to try to buy some unique items, 2 of Tarsala Sign when level 20, Carnage Heart when level 20, Prism Wave when level 25. We will use this unique item until yellow or red map, so we should get this as soon as possible. This is POB planner for you to league start. It includes passive skill planner, gem setup, and how to achieve all of the basic defense you need. In the following video, we will talk about gears upgrade one by one, budget to high end. We will start from Claw. After campaign, we're looking for life gain or mana gain implicit. We don't use any life leech implicit. High attack speed and critical strike chance at least 7% is first considered. And slowly upgrade elemental damage. We're using 3 elemental damage claw, so we don't use physical damage. We use the taming and Nimis as our final rings. Before we get Nimis, we use 2 of the taming. We should make sure our base damage is high enough to use the taming. So before we replace Tarsala Sign, we have to make sure our DPS is improved on POB. Yoke of Suffering is our final amulet. This amulet not gonna be cheap when league start. Get one when you can afford it. For the helmet, we should have increased mana reservation efficiency of skills on suffix and implicit. But this doesn't matter when league start. We are fine to use Grace and Herald of Ice, so helmet just for resistances and life when league start. For the boost, we can use dark ray vectors when league start. In the late game, we probably need rare boost to cover our defensive. Check the POB notes and see what we can get on our boots. For the belt upgrade, we can use Chains of Emancipation as our final belt options. To use this belt, we need left Flasks that remove curse to help us remove temporal chains, so we gain maximum rage and curse immune, and we can use Berserk to boost our DPS even more. For the next upgrade for our gloves, we need to get non-war strike skill target and additional nearby enemy implicit, spamming lesser Eldritch Ember to get it, swap attack mastery to non-war strike skill target and additional enemies, so that we can swap Ancestor Core to elemental damage with attack. Our final gloves will look like this. The necessary modifiers is +1 maximum frenzy charges and non-war strike skill target to additional nearby enemies. This gloves is not easy to craft. Crafting video on description below. When they start, we can find any corrupted 5 or 6 link body armor. We're looking for 3 red, 1 green and 2 blue in 6 link, 3 red, 1 green and 1 blue in 5 link. Just make sure the body armor have evasion base as high as possible. The final versions of body armor should be pure evasion base, but pure evasion base is very difficult to roll sockets color that we need, so we have to buy at least 5 white socket body armor base. We need melee hits have chance to fortify on implicit, avoid elemental ailments, and avoid being stunned on prefix. For the flags, we have 1 life flags, 2 defensive and 2 offensive flags. Life flags with remove curse, topaz and sapphires for either offer farming as defensive, ruby and amethyst for searing exarch farming as defensive, sulfur and diamonds as offensive. Immune Bleed and Corrupted Blood on any defensive, Immune Freeze and Chill on any defensive when we haven't kept Elemental Ailments Void, Increased Evasion Rating on any defensive when we kept Elemental Ailments Void, Increased Attack Speed on any offensive, Increased Critical Strike chance on any offensive, gain 3 charges when you are hit by an enemy on prefix, or gain a charge when you deal critical strike on prefix. The higher tier the better. Our passive skill is very basic. Leather Pride is necessary due to gain strength we need. We can buy 4 to 5 double damage Leather Pride if you want. Weak number on description below. Before that, we just buy any Leather Pride just to get strength we need. We can generate that number of the Leather Pride on POB before we buy it. Make sure the Leather Pride is provide good strength. So this is level 85 passive skill tree. What you're going to allocate depend on what you need. If you need chance to suppress spell, you can get this cluster. If you need stun avoid, you can get this cluster. If you need elemental ailments avoid, you can get shield mastery. If you need some more damage, you can get cloned. If you want to add a cluster jewel, you can. It just depends on what you need after level 85. The skill gem is pretty simple. This is guard skill setup, this is mobility skill setup, this is totem and berserk setup, and this is mark skill setup. All this skill setup is fixed. Only buff skill and main skill we have to adjust. For buff skills, we always use grace and blood and sand. When we don't have mana reservation efficiency of skill on helmet and level 3 and lectern, we're going to use Hurdle of Ice as our offensive buff. After we have mana reservation efficiency of skills on helmet and level 3 and lectern, we use anger or wrath as our offensive buff. Depend on resonance gain from Trinity support. We will first use anger. If we cannot gain resonance with anger, we have to use wrath. If we still cannot gain resonance, we have to swap Trinity to increase critical damage. Our last buff skill is low level precision. We can level up until we just enough to use Molten Strike twice. Our main skill is always support by multi-strike and concentrated effect. Ice Spike will swap to Night Blade after we have good elemental damage claw. Ancestor Core will swap to elemental damage with attack after we upgrade our gloves. Increased critical damage will swap to Trinity when we gain and sustain resonance. I think this is the video today. I guess I will probably miss something. Leave a comment below if I did. I will still use this build for League Start in 3.24. Subscribe if you want to catch me on live stream. Like and share if you don't mind. It helps. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.